So, how does a brand go from just being a product to, well, an entire philosophy? Today, we're going to break down the powerful identity of Qhivarra House, a lingerie brand that decided to build architecture, not just clothes. Let's jump right in. Okay, it all kicks off right here with a headline that just stops you in your tracks. I mean, when Vogue says you're redefining an entire category at Fashion Week, you know people are going to pay attention. This was so much more than just another runway show. It was a genuine shockwave. And see, that's the key right there. The press, they didn't just see a new collection. No, they saw a manifesto, a real statement. So what was this big declaration all about anyway? Well, it wasn't about lace or silk. It was about something way more fundamental. It really all boils down to one single powerful idea. An idea that challenges the whole point of lingerie. This is the bedrock, the foundation of everything Qhivarra House built. So this is it, the architecture of curve. The designer's goal was crystal clear. Get past simple decoration and actually build pieces that literally change how a person stands. Because as they put it, when you stand differently, everything else changes. It's a huge shift, right? From lingerie being something to be seen to something you feel right from your core. And this really just lays it all out, doesn't it? It crystallizes the whole revolution. You see, the rest of the industry was obsessed with spectacle. Qhivarra chose structure. They were all about decoration. Qhivarra chose architecture. Instead of a performance for an audience, they zeroed in on the wearer's posture. And maybe the most important part, they threw out the old hierarchy of sizing for this idea of personal sovereignty. And this quote, wow, it just perfectly sums up the emotional impact of that whole philosophy. A celebrity guest at the show said this, and it's perfect. The feeling isn't about being put on display for somebody else. It's about feeling supported, centered, powerful, held, not displayed. What a difference. Okay, so if you're going to throw out all the old rules, you obviously need a new system to replace them, right? And that's exactly where the brand took its big abstract idea and turned it into something real, a whole new language for the body. But this was the big challenge, you know? Traditional sizing is, well, it's a hierarchy. It's just a ladder of letters and numbers. Qhivarra House wanted to build something totally different, a system that actually described shape and form, not just where you landed on a chart. So how'd they pull it off? They came up with what they called the Mirella scale. And get this, these aren't sizes, they're tiers. Tiers that describe a progression of structure, of shape. You don't go up a size anymore. Instead, you move through an architectural experience. You go from crescent to sovereign, and the language is all about empowerment and form. It completely gets rid of that need to compare. But you know, the brand's biggest impact, it actually came from a place nobody saw coming. While everyone was totally focused on these amazing architectural bras, there was this quiet revolution happening with a piece of clothing most people never even see. And that, right there, is the core of what they call the Pantisas Effect, a small garment with a huge consequence. It's this idea that the most hidden, most intimate thing you wear could actually have the biggest impact on your confidence, on your energy. And the data, I mean, it really tells the story. After that big Fashion Week show, sales for the architectural bras went up, just like you'd expect. But look at this. The sales for the Pantisas line, which was kind of their secondary product, they went through the roof, absolutely skyrocketed. The market was responding to something way more subtle. So why? What's going on here? Well, psychology actually gives us a pretty good answer. There's this concept called enclothed cognition. Basically, it suggests that what we wear has a direct impact on how we think and feel, even if nobody else sees it. The clothes closest to our skin can literally shape our awareness from the inside out. And this customer quote just brings that whole scientific idea down to earth. You can hear the skepticism at first, right? I didn't think it mattered. But then comes the realization. Then I noticed how I moved. See, the change wasn't about how she looked. It was about how she moved. A tiny shift in how she walked that just radiated confidence. So, okay, when you put all these pieces together, you've got the core philosophy, the revolutionary sizing system, and this totally unexpected cultural impact. What you're seeing is a brand that's building something designed to last. You know, someone asked the designer if their goal was to disrupt the market, and they made this really important distinction. Disruption, that's just noise. It's loud, it's temporary. But to redefine something, that creates architecture, something solid, something that's going to stick around. And that quote right there,
That's the whole philosophy in a nutshell. Disruption is noise, architecture lasts. It's a mission statement that just rejects trends and goes all in on timeless structure. Which really brings us to the most important point. This was never, ever just about lingerie.
And that leaves us with this one big question to think about. Can architecture really reshape more than just a body? By focusing on the structure of our bodies, Qhivarra House is kind of suggesting that it can influence not just our posture, but our presence, our confidence, maybe even our place in the world. It's a pretty fascinating idea, isn't it? That the things we build can actually in turn rebuild us.